When you're ready. When you're ready.
Oh, okay. Just go, I guess. Is the timer going?
No, we'll start.
Okay. Yeah, ready.
According to the Center for Disease Control, 3,536 people in the United States drown, and across the world, 350,000 people drown every year. Also, according to the CDC, 4 billion people around the world don't know how to swim, and with 70% of the planet's surface being water, these people can risk drowning at any time. What's worse is that they could also bring other people down, even if they know how to swim. I nearly drowned once before, and because of that, I don't want anybody to go through what I went through.
I've never received formal swimming lessons, and because of that, I think everyone should consider taking swimming lessons.
I'm a certified lifeguard, and I have 5 years as an elementary school instructor, and I feel that water safety is important.
Around the world, too many people die in situations that could be easily prevented, and we believe with the proper information, we can easily cut down the number of deaths related to water. Today, I will tell you a personal story about of my near-death experience with water. Devin will tell you facts and statistics about the current status of people in water, and Nathan will propose solutions to fixing these problems. But to start, I want to tell you all a story. A few years back, I was with some friends at a pool. I knew how to swim, but one of them didn't, and he ended up falling into the deep end. In order to try and keep himself breathing, he ended up pushing me down. And while I'm a strong swimmer, when somebody heavier than you is pushing you down, it's hard to escape. I managed to escape because somebody noticed he was pushing me down, and I didn't lose consciousness because I was only underwater for a few seconds past how long I could hold my breath. Many people don't survive this because it's hard to tell when somebody's being pushed under. If more people knew how to swim, or if more people knew to wear life jackets near water, many of these problems would not be problems. Again, according to the Center for Disease Control, almost half of all water-related injuries and deaths could be avoided if more people wore life vests. But the fact that too many people around the world don't view life jackets as a necessity, whether they're on a boat or they just simply don't know how to swim, it can harm not only themselves, but everyone around them. I'll pass it off to Devin, and he can give you statistics about drowning and water-related injuries.
Thank you, Aiden. According to the Centers for Disease Control's website, about every 2 hours, a person in the United States drowns. 1 in 5 of those drownings are children less than the age of 14. And for every child that drowns, another 5 are sent to the hospital for non-fatal submersion injuries. These injuries pose a risk for brain damage and lifelong disabilities, such as memory problems and learning impairment. The age group 1 to 4 has the highest risk of drowning, and 1/3 of accidental deaths in small children are caused by drowning. A lack of close supervision of children can cause them to unintentionally fall into the water, and drowning can occur in minutes. The longer a child's in the water, the higher the risk for brain injury and death. A lack of pool fencing can allow a child to unintentionally fall into the water or to enter without the caregiver's awareness. A study by the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission found that a 4-sided pool fence decreases the risk of drowning by 80% versus yard fencing alone. Location can also play a role in drowning. A person is much more likely to drown in cold water, such as falling through the ice in a frozen lake or river, than in warm water. The heavy clothing worn in cold climates can weigh a person down and cause them to become more tired while trying to swim back to shore. The cold water can also put a person into shock and cause hypothermia, which causes a decrease in a person's mental and physical ability. A large amount of adults can't swim, and this not only increases their own risk for drowning, but others' risk as well. The fear of drowning is called aquaphobia. 68% of Americans say that they're afraid of deep, open water. Ironically, this fear is what stops them from being able to save themselves in a life-threatening drowning incident. Alcohol is also a risk factor for drowning. Alcohol's wide usage when people go camping and fishing on lakes and rivers. Many people don't question the safety of this practice, but a 2003 study by the CDC found that a person with a 0.1 BAC is 10 times more likely to drown than a person who has not been drinking. This is a significant risk that many people are not aware of. Young people are also at a higher risk for drowning because they tend to drink more heavily than older people. Young people also tend to drink in groups and take more risks, which further increases their risk for drowning. Lastly, Nathan will give us a few solutions to the previously mentioned problems that could help future and current generations avoid this horrible fate.
Thank you, Devin. Reducing water-related injuries and deaths can be done by getting people swimming earlier on in their life and then later learning how to save someone's life. Early childhood interaction with swimming could help improve swimming skills for future generations. Early childhood swimming and swim lessons increases a person's ability to traverse deeper water when they're older. Early childhood education starts with the parents, and so we think that by somehow being able to get them to nudge their children to go do swimming lessons or go swimming would be a great first step. And to do this, we were thinking about having ads in the papers or in high school bulletin boards, elementary or preschool, so that more people know about any programs that are nearby. And to run these programs, there would be volunteers or lifeguards or someone who is qualified to run a course such as that. In the article, CPR and sudden cardiac arrest facts, 70% of Americans do not know how to administer CPR. So they're not able to save someone if an emergency arises. To curb this, we were thinking about having mandatory CPR courses in high school, sophomore and senior year, because CPR training or by the CDC deteriorates after 2 years. A simple lifeguarding course could give people the skills they need to save someone else, or if the situation happens this way, to save themselves. Practice swimming in your local area, so an ocean, lake, river, pool. Here at NDSU, we have the Aquatic Center, which is just a few minutes away, so it's easily accessible. You're paying for it anyway, so might as well use it. In addition to maintaining a lifelong skill, swimming is healthy. It's good for cardio, works all the muscle groups, and it keeps you lean. Every year, people die around the world because they get themselves in avoidable situations, and with the proper instruction, we can cut down on the amounts of water-related injuries and deaths that occur. Today we talked to you about the dangers of not knowing how to swim and how it can affect others around you. The things that people do not know about water safety and how that can affect them. And lastly, we talked about solutions that could be done to solve a couple of these problems. We want more people taking an active part of learning what it means to have water safety and to handle situations as they arise. So that is why we would like you, for 1 hour a week, to go to the Aquatic Center, maybe swim for an hour, and also check to see if there's any water safety programs at NDSU. Thank you.